What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm reviewing The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox, the full series. It's 8 episodes. It's available on Hulu, and it's probably better than Monster: The Ed Gein Story. So if you want to get your true crime junkie on, this is a very intriguing, weird show that will make you never want to travel to Italy ever. So that was my takeaway. That's my review. Let's grade it. Never going to Italy. Sorry, Venice Film Festival. Never. Um, yeah, completely just, like, nope. So yeah, it's the story of Amanda Knox, played by Grace Van Patten. Be interesting to see if she gets any awards buzz coming out of this, or if she just gets forgotten a little bit like Caitlin Dever did for Apple Cider Vinegar. It didn't really happen for her, even though it was a good performance. This is a good performance. It reminded me of the little bit that I've seen of Amanda Knox, and a little bit of Hayden Panettiere's version of her too from that TV movie. So Amanda Knox is actually involved in like as a producer in shepherding this. So it's a little bit more of a version where somebody's actually helping to make this thing happen instead of some other people's thoughts on it. You know, hot take on Ryan Murphy again. So you get the perspective from her as to how the whole thing went and her ordeal and what she went through. And basically, her roommate gets murdered. She's accused, not immediately, but she's there. She has a boyfriend, and she lives in this apartment with like a couple of other girls. And she's with this sort of newish boyfriend, but you know, she has a hard time keeping things perfectly straight. She's answering questions all in like good faith, thinking like she wants to help catch the killer. But the whole time they kind of like her for it, and they keep trying to trap her into things. And you kind of see, I feel like she's being, um, you know, from the beginning targeted, and you see that angle of it coming from the Italian police and detectives. Things like, they called, but supposedly they didn't call, and then like there are some other cops that show up just for like some other reason. So they're like, we didn't get a call. And they're like, well, we did call. So there are a lot of like inconsistencies in that. But her boyfriend's Italian, so I mean, and she speaks some Italian. Her Italian gets better as the series progresses, but she's not like fluent in it really until the end. And so she can kind of make her way around. But that's part of the problem, is that they yell at her a lot in Italian, and she doesn't have an interpreter. So she's trying to figure out like, what are you even saying to me? And they're badgering her. She's not asking for a lawyer. I don't even know if she's entitled to one at that point. But she's too interested in being a good person and trying to help actually figure out who killed her roommate, and doesn't shut up. Sorry, Amanda, but a long time ago. Just shut your mouth and don't say anything. You do not have to speak. I don't care what country you're in. Lawyer, phone call, somebody, but stop digging the hole. Because it's got to be even worse. It's got to be terrible in this country when that's happening to you in your own language. But when somebody's yelling at you in a language you don't speak, and you can only understand part of what's happening, and you know that the severity of it is murder, I just no. Lawyer. I'm just the only word I would keep saying. Lawyer. 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 Um, or interpreter. Like one of two words. Lawyer or interpreter. Like something. But I would not engage in conversations with people who were yelling at me in a language I was only somewhat familiar with. Yeah, I felt I felt bad for Amanda, like what she was doing, but man, they make the Italians look like assholes. And the whole series ends with her going back to try to talk to this detective and get this. She wants to get sort of peace in her life, and she tries to like understand it from his perspective, and her family can't understand why she needs this, and she's way too sympathetic with him. She's like, well, he's trying. Who cares if he's trying? Like, first of all, by the way, the series presents him as a giant douchebag, like the whole time. So I don't care what he's trying or what emotions he's struggling with. Like, the dude needed to apologize. So this is a thing where I think what Amanda Knox is trying to produce and what she actually ended up showing people are two different things. Because her character is like trying to be sympathetic, but the show is not sympathetic. The show is very much like, this guy is a raging lunatic. And like clearly is just like, I need someone to take the fall. Like, it must be guilty, like. So yeah, I don't know. It's fun. This is a good. It's good. It's not amazing, but it's better than some of the other Hulu limiteds that we've had recently, like Good American Family. I feel like I got a better full story here than Good American Family. Plus, the interpretation that's being funneled doesn't mess with your perspective. Good American Family is weird because it like shows you one thing and then it shows you another, and it's like, well, we have to honor all sides of the story because nobody's guilty and nobody's been sent to jail, nobody's been exonerated, and all those kind of things. So it had to walk a fine line and just ended up being kind of a confusing mess, which is why it didn't get any Emmy nominations. This is a little bit more on brand for what you would expect. It might be a little long for what it is. I feel like you probably could have condensed it into 2 episodes. There are a lot of like side characters that come in and out, like her family, who are just really underdeveloped anyway, and either spend more time with them or less time with them. Does that make sense? Like they're in like this sort of gray area where either we needed to cut some of them and focus on just her mom, or you can take some liberties. Like you don't have to show every member of her family. So yeah, I would say I wasn't paying attention to this story at all when it happened. I am not a true crime junkie. I am a film and television, so I wait for the adaptation of the thing. So I did not pay attention to this. I never would have, like, if I had met Amanda Knox in real life at the time, I would have been the one person she could have been in an elevator with, and she would have been like, I'm Amanda Knox. And I'd be like, okay. Like, nice to meet you. I think you're in the news. you know? Um, so yeah, the true crime stuff there's so much of it that's out there. It's hard to pay attention to all of it. Even like she arguably had more attention. I will say that. So like I was aware, but I still was not like up to date on all of the ins and outs of her trial. So I would not have been like, oh my God, stay away from me. Killer! I don't know. Are you in Italy? Something. Um, but yeah, I thought this was good. Worth your time, worth traveling down. It's nice to see her perspective from it, knowing that she's endorsing the show, knowing that she's behind it, and that this isn't made without her consultation. So I'm going to give The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox, aka Don't Go to Italy. Know your legal rights in foreign countries before traveling there. Yeah, the moral of the story is that I'm going to give it a 7.4 out of 10. So I thought it was pretty good. It doesn't need Emmys. It'll be interesting. I would say if anybody be Grace Van Patten, but I feel like between now and next May, I'm going to see more performances. Like I had a really hard time with Best Actress last year, and we definitely left some people on the cutting room floor that deserved Emmy nominations last year. So I'm feel like this is going to be a performance that I will end up shifting out of my own top 5 by the end of the year, although it's a very good performance. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.